Hey everybody, welcome back to We Are Podcast Network. This is We Are Air Season 1, Episode 6, Free for Fall, ICP, and Favorite Childhood Shows. If this is your first time checking out the podcast, thank you so much. Please go to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, or iTunes, and give We Are Podcast a like. And if you get a chance, head over to our social media. All links can be found in the description. We're at Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at /We Are Podcast. With that said, on to the podcast.
We are rarer.
Alright everybody, welcome to the We Are Air podcast. This is Duck. I'm here with
Jake
and
Javi.
Alright y'all, this is a podcast that we do weekly where we talk about movie news, entertainment, video games, and whatever the fuck we want to talk about. And today, we're really going to talk about whatever the fuck we want to talk about when we get to our main subject. What are we calling this again?
Free for Fall.
Free for Fall. That is correct, ladies and gentlemen. But let's start with some movie news. The big news of the week, James Gunn has a new job.
Oh, yeah.
And so
I'm excited.
DC has pulled the same thing that they did with Josh Whedon. They pulled him over from Marvel, got him on Justice League. It didn't work out great, but he was more or less fixing something that was not
he was fixing somebody else's fuck up.
Yeah. But James Gunn's going to be starting from scratch on Suicide Squad 2.
Yes.
And Javi, what was that little movement?
I don't know. You gotta think, James Gunn has a certain style and a certain aesthetic to his movies. And you're gonna go from Suicide Squad 1, which is not your thing at all, and you're gonna turn it into your version. It's just, I think it's just.
I think it kind of meshes well, honestly.
I think it does.
The soundtrack, the color schemes.
Oh, yeah, they totally aped what he did with Guardians of the Galaxy, 100%. To the point where they changed the first movie.
Right.
They went to the editing team that made the trailer that just basically did Guardians of the Galaxy's trailer, and they said, put this in our movie. And then next thing you know, you got 20 classic songs, you've got the first half of the movie is literally, it feels almost the exact same lighthearted.
So you don't think it's going to feel like a completely different movie than the first?
I think like the first half.
I think I want it to feel like a completely different movie than the first one. I've said several times that I like the first one. It's a good popcorn movie. I like, obviously, fucking Harley Quinn. Come on. So much footage with Jared Leto on the cutting room floor. I think James Gunn can actually turn this beast around a little bit. I think it'll give it the fucking kick in the ass that it needs, honestly. And I think DC did the smart move saying, well, fuck you, Marvel. We'll take it.
That's 100% what it was.
Yeah.
And it's probably a lot in his way saying the same thing. Fuck you, Marvel.
Oh,
I'm going to go over here and make something. And the thing you brought up, though...
Can I just point out the hypocrisy that Disney fired James Gunn for something he did back in the day, and they still have Robert Downey Jr. under contract for...
Well, you talking about when he was like wandering in the houses drunk at 3 o'clock in the morning and sleeping on people's couches and shit like that? That was a huge thing, actually, whenever he first was hired on. That was something that was brought up. And they're like, how are we going to make this guy into a movie star? This is never going to work. And Jon Favreau, he was the one who really pushed for it. And probably a good thing he did. Yeah. Because, I mean, he made those fucking movies.
He is Iron Man.
He is Iron Man,
yes,
100%. But
true.
he said at the beginning of the first movie, I am Iron Man.
You believed it.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
What we were talking about, though, with the Guardians of the Galaxy over to Suicide Squad 2, Jared Leto and James Gunn evidently have a big beef, and they do not get along. Now, these are grown men, but James Gunn has been known to tweet once or twice in the past, and he basically called Jared Leto a pedophile.
I think he's learned his lesson
but
about tweeting.
He still
but
said it.
Hopefully he'll just call it to his face.
Yeah, just be like, you fucking pedophile. Now get out there and do the Joker thing.
Action.
Yeah, go ahead. You called me pedophile. I'm the Joker.
Use it. Use it.
It's fuel, baby.
Yeah.
Don't worry, bud.
Just use it.
So hopefully, right now he's just writing it, though. He might direct it, but they're not sure yet. They're still going on with their... Evidently what happened was the Birds of Prey movie that they're going to be making, the script was very close to what their Suicide Squad 2 script was, so they're starting page 1 rewrite. So he's got a job. The guy's going to be fine. I mean, he made quality fucking movies. Anyone's going to want to hire him. He took it...
Have you seen Super? It's fucking amazing.
Well, that is amazing. I fucking love Super. It's like, it blows kick-ass out the wall.
But he definitely took a franchise that no one knew anything about. I know I didn't, Guardians of the Galaxy. And literally, Kevin Feige said before he put it out, he's like, this is going to be our Ghostbusters. This is going to be something no one cares about that's going to be huge.
Yeah.
And when you look at Avengers, Infinity War, Guardians of the Galaxy are key to that fucking movie.
True. Oh, you know what? Like, that first scene, whenever you hear Rubber Band Man playing, it automatically turned into a fucking Guardians movie at that point. Yeah, I get goosebumps just even talking about it, because it's so good, because, like, you knew it was them coming.
I saw it twice on the same day on opening day. I saw Mike and Brittany, and I saw my friends Megan and Jordan. And every time that they saw the fucking Guardians of the Galaxy ship flying through with Rubberman Man, the whole theater went fucking nuts.
Oh god, dude, just
Like,
lit the fuck up.
They were
Like,
super excited for the Guardians. No
And
one else had
then
that.
I threw a chair. I was like, yeah!
No one else had that reaction but the fucking Guardians.
and then Javi's like, I dropped my iPhone 7.
It's like when Star Wars is
Well, also, I want to point out Dave Bautista, who's been very vocal about his firing. He's not a fan.
Yeah.
He's already like, I'm in. Batista's Bane. That's
Are you serious?
Make
Yeah.
Batista Bane. That's
Yeah.
the first thing I saw. I was like, make him fucking Bane.
Yeah.
We need a new Bane. Hardy's
Yeah.
off doing Venom. Who gives a shit now? Make Batista Bane. He's perfect. He's already built for it. Do a different thing with
Fucking
it. Just
A.
bring him in.
Yep.
And that plays into the
And also,
villains.
Hardy's Bane was kind of hard to live up to. It's like best to do
It
something
is,
completely
but
different.
what we talked about with the Joker, though, you can always do a different version.
Right.
Of something.
I know, just
It's
different.
fine.
Make it your own.
Yeah. And Batista's a hell of an actor. If you saw Blade Runner 2049, he fucking kills it. His opening
yes.
scene, he's
He
amazing.
steals the show.
Also, Batista and Hotel Artemis was really fucking good.
Drew Goddard, who directed Cabin in the Woods, and I think he worked on Daredevil Season 1 when it came out, he signed on for the X-Force movie. Well, the reason I'm bringing it up is there's a chance with this Fox-Disney merger that's happening at the beginning of next year, that movie might go to the wayside. They might not do it at all. There's kind of conversation. Same thing happened with Goddard whenever he did the Sinister Six. He was writing it after The Amazing Spider-Man 2 came out. And whenever they decided to put Spider-Man in the MCU, they canceled all those side movies. Except for Venom, which eventually got made.
Yeah, that was pretty much supposed to be Amazing Spider-Man 3, right?
It was.
Yeah.
They were going to use Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man
Right.
and put him in there, and so they were just kind of planning on doing that. But so he might be going through the same thing again. In an interview, he's just like, that's the business.
And which movie was he developing?
X-Force right now.
Oh, okay.
On. So, and he was talking about how they're going to take X-Force, and X-Force is going to be PG-13. They're not going to do a hard R. But I think this is the
So they're
transition.
going to have a Deadpool movie?
Well, they're already putting out the PG-13 version in December of Deadpool 2.
We've talked about
So this is something that they're trying. I think they're trying to transition Deadpool to something a little bit.
They're
cleaner.
probably, are they trying to like prep him for the MCU?
Yes.
Yes.
I
He
think so.
does not belong in the MCU.
Why?
Because we've already got accustomed to
We've
him in
accustomed
the
to the
fucking
hard
Fox
R.
universe.
Hard R Deadpool. You
That's
can't
our
water that
Deadpool.
down. It's going to be fucking cheap.
It will. It'd be like whenever Major League 2 was a PG movie instead of a rated R.
And well,
You know
whenever they do this merger, they're planning on keeping the Fox branding on a lot of stuff. They're just going to call it New Fox. But Disney gets everything excluding Fox News. Thank God.
I would put
Which
that
would be
goddamn
great.
drum roll before
Yeah.
every fucking
dude,
movie.
put it before Star Wars.
You
Bring
have
that
to.
shit back,
You have
please.
to.
I think we talked
You
about that
fucking
before
have
Star
to,
Wars.
yeah.
The Force Awakens came out. We were like, are they going to do the drum roll?
Nope.
They didn't. Just Disney or whatever.
Jordan
And then-
Lucasfilms, yeah.
And then, I want it back.
Yeah, I do
dude.
too.
That was such a part of the opening.
They're like, oh, here it comes, here it comes!
Yeah, that's crazy. Yo, they released the Aladdin trailer for the live action movie. Did you watch it yet?
Negative.
Do you want to watch it?
Might as well.
Can't check it
I
out.
gotta try to get something.
What?
I'm getting sick and tired of all these fucking remakes, sequels.
Are you gonna
prequels.
cringe because you might accidentally find Aladdin hot like you found the Beast hot?
Oh, Javi.
No, because Aladdin can't
Yeah, it's
sing.
easy for you to say.
You want that? You want that?
I try so hard to never stammer around you because the first thing you got me with I died laughing. And it took a minute for me to get what the fuck?
What? Oh, it wasn't easy for me to say.
So what you're saying is you want that Aladdin cock.
I want the beast stick over the Aladdin dick.
I want that Aladdin.
You ain't listening to this man.
Who's the genie?
Who's the genie?
Will Smith.
That pissed me off.
Why would that make you... Who gets mad at Will Smith?
Full screen it. I do. Dead shot. The guy that they got to play that acted exactly like Will Smith. Well, and that's how good he has at playing Will Smith. I couldn't even tell if that was Will Smith playing Will Smith.
Seriously, that was a teaser?
That's a very definition of a teaser. It shows you barely anything, but it gives you kind of a general idea of what the movie's going to be.
Is that the
Directed by
very-
Guy Ritchie.
Oh, God, that's going to suck.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, that didn't do anything for
So
me
what,
personally.
Madonna's going to be fucking Princess Jasmine or something? Fuck this.
So, you like the live-action remake?
I
Or
kind of misspoke. I like The Jungle Book.
Okay, Jungle Book.
That was the only one that I saw. I saw Beauty and the Beast, and like I said, it wasn't bad. Not for me, but I really did enjoy The Jungle Book.
We
a
know
lot.
who did like Beauty
Oh,
and the
yeah.
Beast.
Well,
That
Don't give
Evermore,
me the Kool-Aid Man wink.
like one of them.
that Evermore song is this shit.
Yeah.
No, I'm not a fan of what they're doing with the live action. The Jungle Book was fine. I'd still rather.
I really
watch
like the
animated
Jungle
classic.
Book. Yeah, of course.
I like the
prefer it,
ending
but-
with the jungle catching on fire. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
I like Bill Murray as Baloo. It was fun,
Idris
but-
Elba as Shere Khan. That's fucking perfect casting.
You know what?
honestly.
I'll be
He's
honest,
so-
the water truce, that was kind of cool. So the
Yeah.
stuff they added, I was happy with that version because they added stuff. I was thinking the other day,
And like you said, John Favreau.
well, Andy Serkis is doing a Jungle Book movie.
I
right
know,
now, too.
and Christian Bell, and there's a fuck ton of other people, but it's Mowgli is what it's called, I believe.
So I'm kind of curious to see.
They
what
do that every
we were
10,
talking about that
15
the other day.
fucking
Deep
years.
Impact Armageddon, baby.
Yeah, and they did the same thing with the Jungle Book years ago.
They did,
It was
they made a live
Rudyard
action.
Kipling's Jungle Book, and then just the fucking Jungle Book.
Because Disney made a version of it where it was an adult version of it.
They had fucking Jason Lee Scott, fucking Dragon, Bruce Lee.
Really?
Jason Scott Lee was one of them, I believe. Yeah.
It wasn't good.
Rapa Nui. It's about the Easter Islands. Easter Islands got the giant fucking heads on out there or whatever. But it's about whenever that shit was prevalent. It was like set hundreds and hundreds of years ago. But it's a really fucking cool movie because it's about the island tradition to inseminate the queen or princess. These guys had to race to fucking win the spot to
I was hoping
get it. Like, so they go through like these streaks of like feats of strength and endurance.
Dude, I just like the way you said it. To fucking get it.
Yeah.
It made me so happy. I was like, yeah, fucking get it. It was so good. Well, what do you like about this trailer, Javi? What was it about the live trailer?
I'm just tired of like the remakes and like that. I didn't like the live action aspect.
That really-
the guy with the Dan Stephen Dick complex. Are you kidding me?
Oh.
First of all, that was actually a good remake, though. Do I got any faith in this? No.
I don't think it's gonna.
Because think about it. Beauty and the Beast only had two main characters. One of them was a human. This one has a whole bunch of characters that you're gonna have to fucking CGI.
No, man. What about all the fucking Clarks and fucking cups and fucking shit?
Wow, one scene they were all there.
We're talking forks.
Real?
I'm just saying.
They didn't make a contraption to bring those things to
I'm
life.
pretty sure I'm letting my Robin Williams genie fanboy
Look,
take
yes,
over.
let's be real.
And I think that's why
Do
it
we
pissed me off
need
that
a
it was-
remake?
No, we don't. And also, at the end of that trailer, they should have Will Smith say something like, "Hey, Al."
Welcome to Earth, motherfucker.
Yeah, he should have said,
Like,
"Damn."
Yeah.
I don't
Welcome
want
to
them,
Agrabah.
I don't want them to even come close to trying to attempt to recreate Robin Williams' genie at all. If you're gonna do this fucking genie for this
I
remake,
think they
you
will.
make it
I think they
completely
will
different.
respect that. There will be less Jack Nicholson impressions from the genie.
Well, my thing is, when this first came out and they announced the news, because I was thinking, who could they get to play the genie? And I thought they would get The Rock. I never thought they would get Will Smith.
Really?
I thought The
That's
Rock
where you
was-
went because of the size. Is
No,
that why
just-
you went
I
there?
was like, who's got the charisma? The genie has to have super charisma.
He is very charismatic
He
and
is.
comedic.
So
Like,
I thought
he's
they would
fucking
get
funny.
The Rock to play him. And
I
then
was thinking Zach Galifianakis
That would be fucking awesome.
and Louis Anderson.
Hey, Al. Back in the early 2000s, Will Smith and Rob Williams never did a movie together. But there was a movie they were supposed to do about Will Smith was going to play a character who was the grandson of this very rich person. And he was going to go on a killing spree and kill all the family members. And all the family, Nutty Professor style, were going to be played by Robin Williams.
Awesome.
That would have
Is
been
this a comedy?
Yes, it would have been a dark comedy. It would have been.
Who's going to do it?
Robin
That sounds like a
Williams and
fucking
Will
Peter
Smith.
Jackson
Dude,
style
but
fucking movie or
they
something.
never made it though, so I was always pumped about it coming out, and it never.
I heard they were going to do iRobot 2, and the plot was for Will Smith to kill the Bicentennial Man.
Dude, I fucking love my
yeah, well, I mean, just saying.
And just to finish out this thought on the Disney updates, they're looking to get Lady Gaga to play Ursula in the Little Mermaid remake. So,
Walt Disney hated Jews.
fuck, Jake.
I choked. Literally.
That was my Kanye West moment.
hey, there could be a bigger bad guy in Avenger 4 than Thanos.
Thanos point 2.
Yeah, so they're looking at he's getting the Bicentennial Man treatment. He's just getting the upgrade. But there has been the toys. The toys always give it away for these plot points.
That's what you know what? The first Avengers fucking learned from that shit, and they changed it before.
What happened on the first Avengers?
They had the toy of the Hulk popping out of the Hulkbuster armor, which was supposed to be in the movie. They had a couple of other things. Yeah, like you see, like in the trailer, there's Hulk running at Wakanda.
Yeah,
That is true.
You know
I
what I'm
remember
saying?
that.
Yeah.
So what they were speculating, and I think it was actually written in, but they went back and did reshoots and rewrites and everything else. before it was released because the toys did fucking spoil it.
Right.
Bruce Banner was supposed to be inside the Hulkbuster armor and get fucked up and then turn the Hulk inside of the Hulkbuster armor and burst the fuck out. Well, they made a Lego toy of that.
You don't think that was red herring to kind of get...
It might have been. It might have been, but
technically-
also at the same time, like I said, they go back and they did so many rewrites and reshoots and they kept the script so fucking tight. And they probably red herring their own cast.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
I
They
think
probably
they did,
fucking...
like, script
yeah.
of the day thing.
I think they red herring their own cast and then Lego was just handed information that they were fucking given. Make this toy, make this
I mean,
toy.
technically,
whatever.
the Hulk did appear in the Hulkbuster armor for just like a brief second. That's it. But it's like,
He looked like he was
it's
constipated.
like technically they're not.
God damn.
So the notes, here's what it says. It's if you look at the toy, basically they're wearing like futuristic white-looking iPhone
On their wrists?
But no, it's a full suit. It looks like a Power Ranger suit. It's Thor and Rocket Raccoon, and the actual wording on the back of it: the Asgardian Thor wields the mighty Stormbreaker in his battle against new foes. Rocket teams up with a new crew to guard the galaxy from an even greater threat.
Whoa.
So, it could just be somebody being overzealous with their description. Or do we think it could be Galactus?
Galactus
God
is
damn.
not stronger than Thanos.
Dude, I would love to see fucking Galactus. You gotta be kidding. You do the time travel shit that we think's gonna happen. You go back to the previous movies, and then all of a sudden you throw Galactus in that. That's the biggest fucking movie you'll ever
Well,
get.
if they did that, then they don't have to bring the Fantastic
And I'm talking
Four.
Yeah,
purple
they
suit.
can.
Yeah,
Galactus.
exactly. Not a giant fucking cloud of shit.
No, bring purple suit, crazy helmet, Galactus. That's what I
And
wanna
Silver
see.
Surfer. You
Bring
gotta
'em.
have Silver Surfer if
Bring
you
'em.
do that, which would be fucking amazing.
I don't know if anyone else, though, that could be a bigger threat, though, for the MCU than Galactus. I mean, Thanos has already killed half the population. Galactus is a world eater.
Yeah,
So
but
how
I
do
was
you
gonna
go
say there's all
I'm
the
just saying
Eternals
Galactus-
or whatever.
Well, and that's
yeah.
the thing, is they're moving towards the Celestials. And
Yeah,
they're moving
that's
towards the
right,
Eternal
yeah.
stuff. Or they're doing the Eternals, which will move to the Celestial stuff. I think you'll see Galactus in the Celestials.
Yeah.
So I think that's the next step up, is what they do. What can be a bigger threat than killing half the population? Killing everybody. So you always gotta up your game. So maybe they'll plant some seeds for that, or maybe they won't. But why are you fucking with us, Disney?
Yeah, seriously, fuck you.
Spider-Man's getting a black and red suit. Did you guys see the pictures?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, that's another. Could this be a red herring thing?
Well,
I mean that's Miles Morales' fucking costume,
I
pretty
didn't even
much.
think about that.
You know what
It
I'm
is,
saying?
You're right.
Yeah.
Oh shit! You know what? Disney still owns the rights to Miles Morales, I believe. I think whenever they sold the rights to Marvel sold the rights to Sony. If you remember, there was a
It was
leaked email.
before Miles Morales,
Right. Well,
so
there
Miles
was-
Morales is in a different fucking Marvel universe.
Well, even though the Sony film that's coming out soon has Miles Morales, I think Disney will still
Yeah.
own the rights to Miles Morales.
That's what I'm saying. I think they do also.
Dude,
that
that's
might have been a
fucking smart.
shared deal. That way they could get Spidey back in MCU. They lent Miles Morales
Dude,
to the
that's
end of the
fucking
Spider-Verse,
smart,
maybe.
because
I don't know that.
Well, no, the Sony, there were a couple of years ago, they leaked emails saying that Sony's version of Spider-Man always has to be Peter Parker, and he always has to be white.
Yeah.
That's what they said in the emails. So
Fuck you, Donald Glover.
Exactly. So that would be cool. And they did set up Miles Morales. Like you said, they had the Tinkerer in Spider-Man Homecoming. He's also going to be a bad guy in Black Panther 2 for some reason. So, yeah, they're bringing back
Donald Glover's character?
Yep, they're bringing him back for Black Panther 2.
Miles Morales' uncle, for those that don't know.
Well, and the big thing that I saw this week was there was a guy who did a video showing that the black and red suit is actually the original suit, the way it was supposed to be designed. The blue that's in the suit, it was just to highlight the muscles.
It was the lighting.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like Joker's hair.
And they got to the 4th issue, and that's when he was like, well, the blue kind of looks better. He started adding it more and more.
I
And
like
then
the black
eventually
better.
People were just like, oh, it's red and blue is what it is.
Right.
And then you get into the American aspect of it. He's red,
Red,
white,
blue, yeah.
Red, white, and
He
blue.
got white eyes, but still.
So
I think the
that's-
red and black is fucking cooler.
Oh, yeah, I thought it was alright looking, too. And they're going to do the stealth suit. That is confirmed, I guess. So that what we saw before with the all-black suit
With him
is
and
the stealth
Jessica.
suit. And if you play Spider-Man 4, there's a shit ton of suits in that. And this all comes down to, once again, the toys. You got Spider-Man already. You've got the Iron Spider from
Yeah.
Avengers. And now you're going to have black and red Spider-Man suit. It's just to sell more toys. But whatever, I'm down. I was raised on buying awesome toys, so I'm fucking cool with that. Bring as many as you want. That's why they change Iron Man's suit every movie.
Yeah,
So people get a new suit.
right. I didn't like the Iron Man 3 suit. Too much mustard.
Yeah, I agree with that. Not enough ketchup. All right, the only news that's going to be spoilery for Star Wars. There's a good chance that Emperor Palpatine is back.
Motherfucker.
Because he's Darth Plagueis the Wise.
It's just going to be a hologram. If you ever read the comic book,
I like my theory better.
To The Force Awakens, which has Luke Skywalker and Poe Dameron's mother, actually.
I did read that when they're trying to save the tree or whatever. On
yes,
the fucking,
exactly.
Yes.
So when you that tree is actually the tree that I believe the books are in the Last Jedi.
Yes,
it's the same tree. So what it is you'll see Palpatine actually has holograms everywhere, and so when he actually has people walk up, do it. But whenever he walks up, like there'll just be people with almost like a dome over their head, and then his hologram will just pop up in the comic. So it's just probably going to be a hologram. But bring him back. What's the guy who plays him?
Ian McDiarmid.
Bring him back. He's the saving grace of the prequels for me. He's so over the top and crazy.
Oh yeah, he was great.
Yeah. I fucking love him. Oh yeah,
more power.
And then he becomes a California raisin at the end. He's like, the Jedi are evil. I was like, no, motherfucker, you're evil and you look evil now. This is just fucked up.
Do my bidding.
Oh, I fucking love it. It's something that's really good.
I'm sorry.
Will you give this movie a chance?
Definitely. I'm back on. I'm not giving up after Last Jedi because if Rian Johnson were fucking directing number 9, I'd be like, fuck you.
Yeah.
But now that it's back in the hands of JJ, and he's gonna fix whatever mess was left.
So JJ's confirmed he's...
Oh yeah, it's already been directed,
yes.
dude. It's already filming.
Yeah,
so,
it's in production.
Hey everyone, it's just Doc jumping in here real quick to say thank you so much for checking out the podcast today. If you're enjoying it, please head over to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, iTunes, and give We Are Podcast a like. And if you get a chance, head over to our social media. All links can be found in the description. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at /We Are Podcast. And if you're enjoying the podcast today, please share with your friends. It's the only way we can grow this network. With that said, back to the podcast. So we're going to talk about just a couple different things. Things that we were going to have as subjects in the past, but now we're going to do it. What do we call it? Free for fall?
Free for fall.
Free for fall. So the first thing we want to talk about is Insane Clown Posse. What is a juggalo?
I don't know.
But here's the thing. I'm a moderate fan of the Insane Clown Posse. Jake is...
used to be a hardcore juggalo.
And Javi...
I'm kind of new to it.
Yeah, he doesn't know anything about it. It's all right.
Nothing
so we're just going to just talk about real quick the big news of the week and what kind of brought this into the forefront. Jake already wanted to talk about it, but I was like, all right, this is time.
Well, my whole theory is it's October. We have a love of horror stuff and
whores.
And whores. Horror stuff as well as horror stuff. And I think ICP fits perfectly within this whole time frame of everything that we're talking about.
I absolutely agree with you. You know, the fact that they did kind of a Rob Zombie type thing where they took the clown, which is terrifying. We know we love the Joker, John Wayne Gacy, things like that. Something about creepy about the clown. And they turned it on his head. And they don't take themselves seriously. I've never felt like they took themselves seriously. And for those who don't know what Insane Clown Posse is, it is just...
horrorcore.
Horrorcore is. And they started kind of their own genre where they just kind of took those horror elements and the scariness of the clown and made their own.
They rapped about horror movie scenarios, essentially. You know, people in the house trying to kill you, shit like that.
And it's very carnival type music. It's very...
they add a lot of fucking organ, organ shit in there.
And when they set out the beginner thing, they did the
6 Joker cards.
Yeah.
They had the Carnival of Carnage. They had the Ringmaster. They had the Riddle Box, Great Malenko, the Amazing Jungle Brothers, and the 6th one was the Wraith, I believe.
But the big news of this week is going to be the fact that Limp Bizkit was brought back into the headlines.
What?
Way,
No way!
And it was tied to Insane Clown Posse.
Oh, God.
So what
It's
ended
my
up
high school
happening,
all over
and we're
again.
going to show the video. We're going to watch the video real quick. But basically, one of the Insane Clown Posse tried to attack Fred Durst while he was on stage.
You know what? This is really
hilarious.
Really disappointing to me because Shaggy 2 Dope is actually a wrestler, and he should have nailed this goddamn drop kick. And he fell short like a bitch.
Alright, so we're gonna watch the video real quick. I've been waiting for the podcast to watch this because
my God.
I'm fucking excited.
So
and we'll get into how he was a wrestler and how you're right. He should have landed that shit.
I'm still surprised that Limp Bizkit will ever get that many people to a show.
I don't think it was their show. I think they were on a festival or something.
Try to get...
Did you see how he missed? It was like he wasn't even trying. There he is. Baboosh, like, he was off by a good 2 to 3
Goddamn.
feet. What the fuck happened?
He was drinking fucking Faygo and modeling
Oh
glue
my
all
God.
night.
Getting that Faygo cooler. Wait, one more time.
Oh,
What is
God
Durst
damn.
screaming about? Jesus Christ, here I am, G. Golly.
Oh, God.
damn.
Okay, so do you think the security got to him before he really
I don't think
did
so.
the kick?
That's the worst security ever. Do you see how long it took before they were like, oh, there he is. Oh,
He just
no,
walked
he
out there.
walked.
He fucking high-stepped out
He
there.
looked like he was going on a Sunday stroll.
Yeah.
And he was just like, oh, here I come to kick your ass, Dursty.
Yep.
Straight up.
I'm not even lying. I could probably watch this all day long.
Hello.
He comes out and he does a little, guys, good to fucking
Yeah.
see ya.
Hello, I'm Shags
Coming.
Too Dope. This is
What
going
I
to be
do.
wicked.
He clipped him.
He did clip him on the back of the head a little bit.
Yeah, but that wasn't shit.
He got the toes.
You know what? You need to play the other video where
Took it
Fred
down.
Durst is like, the pussy didn't even get me.
So, yeah, that brought them back in the news. Evidently, this is a 20-year-old beef between them. When they did the Family Values tour back in
Yeah.
1998, they had requested the Insane Clown Posse come out and kind of to hang out with them and stuff. And they told them they were going to put them on the tour, and at the last second, they changed their mind.
Yeah.
And so this is where this comes from. So this is 20-year-old beef. Insane Clown Posse, they're rappers out of Detroit. They had beefs with Eminem, too. And other
Yeah.
people.
Everybody that would
But they
have beef
don't
with them.
need any of that shit. They built their own empire. They
Oh,
made it off
yeah.
their fan base. The Juggalos, which is their fan base, and considered a
A
gang
gang.
now, which is awesome. And terrible for
God,
them.
I'm glad I
and
never
their
got
race.
that fucking Hatchet
Oh
Man
my
tattoo.
God. Yeah, if you got the Hatchet Man tattoo, the government can fuck with you
Oh, yeah.
hardcore. It's insane. Because they're considered a gang at this point, which I was going to play the video of the Juggalo March, just the end of it. So this is the march on Washington that they did a couple years ago whenever they were classified as a gang. And all the Juggalos and the Juggalettes which
Formed a giant gang
They
and
got-
marched on Washington.
They got the posse together and went out to Washington and marched and said, "We're not a gang, look."
They should if the fucking Lincoln Memorial had a goddamn Juggalo face paint on it, that would have been the fucking shit.
They are in town right now. Jake was planning on possibly going to the show tonight. He said he couldn't make it. But you've went to shows in the past. What's it like there?
Oh, fucking awesome, man. Like, everybody is so nice.
Mhm.
Like, chilly. They're all just so happy to be there and
Right.
fucking see them.
Because they get it. The fan base gets that it's a joke. They get that
Yeah.
it's something that they can get behind in the sense that they enjoy it. They love the music. Some of the music is fun. Some of the music is inspirational. But most of it's just fun.
For the most part, I think it's about people that are outcasts that don't really fit in anywhere.
Right.
They can go there and just do that thing.
It's a bunch of nerds.
Right, and that's essentially what it is, and they just bond over being
There's a
fucking
real sense of
nerds.
camaraderie. I've been to other concerts for other bands, and there's fucking pricks there. And
Yeah.
I don't get that feeling from these guys at their shows.
No. They fucking throw Faygo all over the
Oh,
crowd.
God,
you know.
drench me in it.
Yeah, you get fucking... But it's great whenever it's going off, and it's just like, fuck
dude wearing
you.
a bra in the background. Like just
What?
chilling.
You're at the wrong march, bro.
That's next Wednesday,
Yeah.
sir. One of my
I'm here for the Dogalo March.
Gigolo, gigolo.
Yeah, man, I love buffaloes.
There's a video on YouTube here that you can definitely check out, the Juggalo March, and I highly suggest it.
It's
It really
good.
gives you an idea of the fan base and how it's just fun. It
Yeah.
really is. And that's when I first heard of ICP. It was probably when the great. I know for a fact it was when the Great Malenko
Great
came out.
Malenko.
And I did not know this, but I remembered this in the back of my head. The Great Malenko, ICP was actually signed to Disney Records for a time. And that's where they made the Great Malenko.
Island was
Yes.
an offshoot of Disney.
And so whenever they didn't know what it is, I guess they kind of had the same idea we do, where we're just like, this is fun music.
Yeah.
They literally, once they found out what it was, and found out there was dark themes and this and that, they kind of...
What it
everyone
was
got
is-
fired at Disney.
They were on Jive Records during Riddlebox, and Riddlebox got a lot of fucking heat behind it. It was kind of an underground thing, obviously, like most of their music before that. And the big wigs at Island, an offshoot of Disney, picked up on that. They didn't listen to the fucking music. They
Right.
just saw the numbers and the units it was moving, and like, oh, we'll
Oh,
just
and
sign them. Yeah.
And they're clowns.
Yeah.
Everyone
Well,
loves
everybody
clowns.
loves clowns.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
so that was the big mistake they made. Basically, a church got involved, and they're like, this is the devil.
Goddamn.
This is no
Borough
good.
Baptist
It was
fucking
literally,
church.
The devil?
Yeah.
Mhm.
God
The
hates
church
flags,
like,
God hates fags,
Oh,
God
yeah.
hates clowns,
Yeah,
God
dude,
hates
it was
you.
everything. And they came after it, and Disney went, what did we buy? It's fucked up. And then they dropped them. But I think one of their subsidiaries picked them up because they got the money already, so fuck it.
You know what's ironic about this? Walt Disney hates Jews.
Jake, why?
I
Why did you
don't
do it
know
again?
why.
Why did you bring it back
I
again?
can't help it.
So my first interaction with ICP was on WWE. I watched the Man soap opera, the Manpera, or whatever.
Oh yeah, so
Years
with the
ago.
Blue Meanie and the oddities and
Exactly,
shit
the
like that.
oddities.
You know what was cool about that at the time? They put out a 12-part comic book series, and they dropped a single with each comic book. And
These
at that,
guys are so good at promoting themselves.
right?
Fucking
Yeah, it was
ridiculous.
really fucking good, and they were doing all the wicked shit in it.
Oh, dude,
but-
they built their fan base by this. But go ahead.
No, they built a whole album out of a 12-run comic book series, and it was fucking badass. But at the time, they did the Oddities song for WWF also. They were also wrestling on WCW with Vampiro at the time.
That's right. They went back
Yeah.
and forth. They weren't like contracted,
Yeah.
I don't think.
No.
So they would just bring them in, but it was a big draw.
Right.
I remember as a kid, I liked it. The reason I really liked it was the one oddity brought in the giant Cartman doll with him.
Yeah, that was the Blue Meanie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Javi, just to get you up here, what we're looking at, we'll play you a little bit of this WWF back
It
then.
was WWF, yes.
Yeah.
This is the Attitude Era. Whenever
That
Stone
lady-
Cold and The Rock were prevalent.
That's DX. It's D Generation X.
I
They
remember
were
DX.
fucking awesome.
They were the greatest heels.
Motherfucking mullets and China Vagina because that One Night in China shit came out.
God
Oh
damn,
my
China
God.
fucking vaginas.
Oh my
Have
god.
you seen the
That
clit
thing
on that
was
lady? It's like a
huge.
fucking tiny dick.
I remember that gave me nightmares as a kid. I was just like,
Serious.
oh, China Vagina, it's coming at me.
China
Oh,
vagina.
good lord.
Badass Billy Gunn, suck my ass.
So you watched a lot of WWF back in the day?
Yeah,
Back in the
like,
day,
so-
hell yeah.
dude, it was like ICP, WWF, the new Eminem albums,
Dude,
like
I'm
from
telling you.
97 till 2001,
And
man.
that's
Like
the
my
big-
whole high school.
That's the big thing is for me. This is childhood nostalgia. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Like this really brings me back to back in the day. Like I knew it was a soap opera. I didn't give a fuck. I knew it was
That's why I liked it.
fake, quote unquote. I didn't give a fuck.
Well,
Like,
you just
back
got
in the day.
into it, man. I remember getting so into this. I fucking hated DX.
Oh,
Like to the point
What?
where
they were my favorite. I love Shawn
No,
Michaels.
I know they were great heels. They were
Yeah.
like really
That-
fucking good
I
at
always
it.
liked heels.
And I was like, I've never liked heels before until DX. I was
Right.
like, oh my god, this
Here
is
we go.
fantastic.
Here they come, Javi.
Yeah, wearing their fucking
I've
boo jerseys.
Here they come. There's the Cartman.
Oh no, wait, never mind. Blue Meanie had a Cartman type figure on his shirt.
It's
My bad.
fucking crazy.
Is one of these guys time?
Look how the
That's
fucking
not
crowd's
Cartman.
going nuts.
That's what I'm saying. That's how we felt about it. We enjoyed it. We
Yeah.
knew it was fun. We
It's
knew
like,
it.
oh shit, the fucking
And they
ICP's
were-
on this
and
episode.
They were terrible. They always got their ass kicked.
Yeah,
They weren't good.
yeah.
Like I never pretended like
We know they did their own offshoot
We'll
also.
talk about that in a second. So basically, they're going in there. I didn't even know how they got to go up against DX. To be honest with you, that's the premiere at the time of the WWF.
Oh yeah,
And
that
then
was
they're
top
just-
billing.
Yeah. So basically, you notice this video is only 3 minutes long because they get their ass kicked immediately. pretty
Yeah.
much. So,
Well, I mean, it really wasn't ICP wrestling.
So-
They did a few little moves in there, but it was mostly the oddities versus DX.
And
It
so
was
what-
just a fucking publicity.
and like you were saying, Jake, eventually they moved to doing their own thing, backyard wrestling.
Well, what it was is they already put out wrestling commentary for the infamous Terry Funk versus Cactus Jack in Japan. With the barbed wire and everything, it was like the most hardcore match before hardcore was a thing. So they put out commentary for it, like they were the announcers for it, and they call it Cactus Jack, Cactus Sack, and like, it was just fucking hilarious. And what it ended up being after that was Juggalo Championship Wrestling.
Mm.
And then they fucking actually wrestled in it, and they did the announcing as well, and they had their buddies Twisted.
Mm-hmm.
Did
Which
it.
is the other band that's
Yes,
Twisted
Twisted was the shit.
Are-
Yeah, they have a bunch now, but back then it was, ICP all the way up until Malenko.
Right.
Once Malenko hit, then they signed Twisted with them onto Psychopathic.
Huge jump. I mean,
And then they added Anybody Killer and Blaze
and they
Your Dead
don't give a
Homie.
fuck. They understand their fan base. One of my favorite things ever is when they were on Ozzy Osbourne's tour, and they got into a fight
That
with
was
Ozzy
so
Osbourne.
good. The
And then
Howard Stern interviews
Yes,
with Sharon
Osbourne,
fucking...
and he's like, Ozzy's basically dead. He's just out there.
You're just fucking that old junkie for money.
and literally, Sharon Osbourne got up and walked out because
Yeah.
they ripped on himself.
My band Cold Chamber is just as good as you
It
guys.
was so awesome, so awesome.
Fuck Cold Chamber, fuck you. You go bump their pickles, you fucking old whore.
Oh god, it's so good. So for me, The Great Malenko really was the album we used to listen to all the
It was
time.
their magnum opus.
Yes, it's a wonderful album. If you never listened to it, you're interested. I mean, just put it up on YouTube. You can pull up the whole fucking thing. Listen from Alice Cooper to the last track, which is great.
Malenko.
Yeah, dude, so fucking amazing. And there's going to be certain tracks in that they're going to be stuck in your head for days.
Oh, yeah.
But I would say every track on that album is perfect.
You can listen to it all the way through without skipping.
It's one of those albums like Abbey Road.
White Album.
Oh, Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon.
Yeah.
It's a perfect album. Like I said, I'm not into their later stuff. I don't think they ever topped that one, personally.
For me, okay, so they stopped really taking themselves seriously whenever Riddle Box came out, which was the third Joker's card, which was before Great Malenko, their magnum opus. I think most people would think that it's their magnum opus. They stopped taking themselves seriously after the first two albums. The first two albums were like real fucking hardcore. They had a few funny things on there and shit, but they were seriously rapping about like fucking murdering and raping and fucking all kinds of fucking shit. Yeah, seriously. Malenko was the one that got me, my attention. And that's how I got hit to the scene.
The WWF, because we watched that, do you think that was our push into it, or you think we would have found
it? No. I found it before I even knew about that. I found it like right as Malenko came out. My buddy showed it to me, and I fell in love with it instantly. So I went back and bought all their back catalog.
Right.
And I listened to it all, just waiting for the new album, and the Malenko had just dropped.
Well, I remember it was that and the lure of the 6 Joker cards.
Yeah, it was fun. It was like they had a fucking catch.
Maybe it was back in the day, they gotta catch them all type of thing.
Yeah, you gotta catch all 6 cards.
I remember the WWF, they had the fight, and then they showed a preview, because this is when they were still signed with Disney.
Yeah.
The album hadn't even been released, so there was a huge push for it. And I remember they had the Hall of Illusions. It was the first single that they dropped off there, which is a fucking killer song.
Let's take a walk down the hallway.
It's a long way.
It takes all day.
And and then after that, like I said, they kind of disappeared from the wrestling scene. They went and did their own thing. So there was a huge push, and then the fall from grace. But they
I liked the follow-up album almost just as much as Malenko, though. I like Jekyll Brothers a lot. I mean, my name is Jake. It's Jake and Jack Jekyll. But still,
because it was 2 albums, right?
Well, it was the same fucking album. They just had 2 different Joker card covers.
Was it? They flipped it. Okay, that's what it was. Was it in the book inlay that you could flip? Well,
you could either buy separate ones, or you could buy like a special edition copy that had both of them in it.
Did they have bonus tracks or something like that on there?
I don't think that Jekyll Brothers did.
Okay.
They released Forgotten Freshness in between.
Right.
Malenko and Jekyll Brothers.
Yeah, because I remember they did one that wasn't a Joker card that came out.
They did a bunch of those. They put out an EP in between every one. One of the better ones is right after Riddle Box. It was called Tunnel of Love, which was fucking awesome.
They were prolific. They put in the work.
And they were theme albums.
Right.
They're themed. That's the fucking cool thing about it. They all run off of a fucking theme for the most part. Like the Tunnel of Love were supposed to be all like fucking sexy songs.
You're
and shit
selling
like
it
that.
to Javi the same way I sold to us 20 fucking years ago, and he's buying into it, dude.
And
it's the lore that they build around themselves that really works for the fans, dude. It's
Shaggy 2 Dope has a great voice. Violent J is fucking hilarious. He does most of their writing. He says the funniest off the wall fucking shit that you could put in a song, I think. I've really fell off after Jekyll Brothers. Well, there was a 2-part album that came out after that, though, called Bizarre Bizarre. They were spelled differently. One had 2 Z's, one had 2 A's. And both those albums were pretty good. There's a few songs on each album that I didn't like, but there were a handful of songs that I did like on each album, so it made up for it. I would say that is whenever I stopped listening after that kind of fell off. I got tired of waiting for the 6 Jokers card, because they're like, it's coming, and then the quality of content dropped,
right,
and everything else, as it does with aging rock stars.
But here's the thing. You've went to concerts before, like you said.
Yeah.
What are the concerts like?
Amazing. Well, you go out there, and it's a bunch of like-minded people. You see a bunch of cool fucking faces painted up. It was always, I wouldn't go to a ICP concert without painting up my face. Yeah. I felt like I'd be doing an injustice to myself.
Just standing there without a face paint.
These clown fellas are pretty good. That's a catch-a-tune we got there.
That's Violent J up there right now.
That's how I talk about wearing clown makeup. Yeah.
I remember my first interaction with somebody who was a juggalette. I used to be a server at my first job back when I was like 19 or 20. This girl was a stripper. She would come in all the time and talk to me, sit and drink coffee, read some books. I ended up finding out she was the biggest fucking fan of ICP, and that's how we ended up talking at first.
Yeah.
We actually talking on the same level because I liked them.
Does she have tats?
I don't know if she had a hatchet man, but she was real cool. And we had a great time talking. And she, was able to introduce me to the ideas of that world. That was the first person that kind of took me out of my narrow-minded, anything like that.
Your journey through the dark carnival.
Well, yeah, you can put it that way. But I never viewed her in a sexual way. Like, she was attractive, but I would just view her as a person. And being able to listen to her and her stories made me go you know what? This world takes all types. People are interesting, and people have different paths that I take. And that really opened up me to be able to be like, stop being so fucking judgmental on people.
True.
And that comes from our both liking ICP, and then just having
conversations. That is a strong message that they hold.
Right.
And a lot of their songs is, fuck being a bigot and everything else like that. Just take people as they are.
Right. And
then, and they might kill you and cut your fucking head off and have sex with your dead body or whatever. But, just respect everybody else's thing,
I kind of like that, dude. That's true, though. You brought it up. I was like, you like ICP? I like ICP.
Yeah.
What's up? And it is a bonding thing. It's kind of that same thing of introducing, like Star Wars.
It's the same thing. Well, but this is even more of a taboo, guilty pleasure thing. Like, oh, you like ICP?
You're a little bit
fucking
sick,
idiot. They suck. Well, you don't fucking know what you're talking about,
dude.
Yeah.
It's the sickness of it too. Like, it's just that little bit. It's a little bit twisted.
But you know what? Most people's opinions are just based off of what they've heard. Most of them have never really sat down and listened to the Malenko.
In conversation, they probably overheard smashing.
Right, exactly. Listen to the Great Malenko all the way through, and if you feel that way after that, that's fine.
Listen to the whole fucking thing. And like I said, this reminds us of our childhoods, because I was probably in my mid-teens when this came out, or so, maybe early teens. So the other thing we want to talk about today, Javi wanted to talk about, was those cartoon shows from the past, those block hours from the past, those nostalgic things, the ones that we love the most, and the ones that we go back to watching, and do they hold up now? And I was thinking about, my big one was TGIF. Thank God It's Friday. And they just brought it back a week ago.
Really?
They have a new block on TGIF. I don't know.
Oh, they're not doing reruns of the old TGIF?
Dude, I wish they were. What was you guys, when you started watching TGIF, what was your lineup? Mine was like Full House, Urkel, Dinosaurs, Boy Meets World, I think is what it was.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think Step by Step was in there.
Oh, that was Step by Step. Urkel.
It was like whatever TGIF was, TGIF.
It has to be
was
Family
Matters, Step by Step.
Family Matters, it's Urkel to me. Family Matters, Step by Step, Dinosaurs, Full House was on there.
I think Full House.
Boy Meets World.
Boy Meets World.
Which one?
Roseanne?
Roseanne was
that was
Roseanne was his own.
It was a different ABC night.
Yeah.
I think they did Thursday nights or Wednesday nights.
Yeah, they were taking it, man. And at the same time, they had that. Thursday nights was NBC. They had Must See Thursday.
Must See, yes. Must See TV.
Must See TV. That's
Friends,
Seinfeld. What was that fucking one with
ER.
Helen Hunt? Oh, goddamn Helen
Hunt.
Hunt.
Mad About You.
Mad About You with Paul Reiser.
Jesus.
Helen Hunt.
Jesus Christ, Helen Hunt. You bitch.
Guys.
And Third Rock from the Sun, I think was
Oh, that's fucking great.
But that's not so much kid-oriented, but we watched it because it was prime time. When we were younger, there were 4 main channels. Began with CBS, ABC, NBC, and then you had Fox. That came in late 80s, I believe it was. They added Fox as the 4th.
Pretty much just as good air The Simpsons.
Right, because The Simpsons was the big hit that was on that, and it kind of moved everything else. And then we got cable in the 90s. Well, late 80s, early 90s, and then it expanded. Some people had cable, some people didn't. And I was watching...
We were lucky. We were blessed.
Netflix just released the 90s documentary.
I still need to watch that.
Dude,
I was wanting
that was the first episode. They talk about that, and they kind of talk about the block stuff. And I was like, wow, it's really weird to think that now we have all these choices we didn't have before. I don't watch the main channel.
Damn, there's too much now.
That's true.
Like, if you want to watch something, you have to lock in for, 4 seasons,
There's
28 episodes, all 45 minutes apiece. The next thing you know, you're like, fucking who's president?
Well, dude. Don't worry, baby. I remind you. Nostalgia might be going away, and that's what we're kind of talking about. Because there's so many choices now. There's so many things that people can be so selective about what they want to watch, what they want to look at, what they want to listen to. All this nostalgia shit from pop culture is probably going to disappear within the next 10 to 20 years. You've probably watched 6 things this month that I hadn't even heard of, and so have you. You see what I'm saying?
Likewise.
In YouTube, even further. Content created by creators is even bigger. Like, that's shared.
5 minutes
so
at a
much.
time. You don't even realize what all you fucking watch half the time. You're just like, well, I was watching a video the other day that had this, and you can't even fucking find it half the time whenever you go back to look for it.
It goes from 21 minutes, that's standard for any show with commercial breaks, to, like you said, 11 to 12 minutes for an animated thing where it does 2 parts, to now we got 5 minutes. Most people, me personally, I watch 5 minute segments of YouTube all day long.
Religiously.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I turn on my YouTube more than I turn on anything else.
Same here.
But when we were kids, we had, and this is how they got us through advertisement, we had blocks of shows. And we talked a little bit about the Fox Afternoon. Well, we had Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I know we had Tiny Toon Adventures. We had Batman.
Oh,
Freakazoid.
the actor school.
Right.
Yes,
the
okay.
But in the morning, they did have X-Men. X-Men in the morning.
They even had like Beast Wars and shit in the morning.
Oh, Beast Wars was the shit, man. Do you remember the King Arthur fucking football players? The guys who got transported into King Arthur times? They became fucking King Arthur and Lancelot and all them? They were football players. It was fucking awesome.
I never watched Beast Wars.
What about...
that show did not hold up, because I tried rewatching it to like...
Oh, the animation is so horrible. But you know what was fucking great about that show was Rat Trap.
Rat Trap was a shit.
Rat Trap was fucking dope.
And if you watch the Netflix, The Toys That Made Us, Beast Wars saved the Transformers franchise.
Truly, it did. Like, it caught a lot of fucking attention again. That show did really good.
Really enjoyed it. Yeah. How about Saturday morning? Here's the thing, kids. You need to understand it. First, cartoons were Saturday morning and Saturday morning.
Oh, they were hard to come by.
And this was...
And you had like... It was like a Sophie's Choice every Saturday morning. Were you going to rock with WB Saturday morning cartoons, or are you going to rock with the Fox?
Are you going to watch, or ABC had
ABC, dude, I'm talking early. You had to watch CBS or ABC or NBC. And the only thing NBC had was fucking Saved by the Bell.
Heathcliff. They had shit like that on it.
I hated Heathcliff when I was a kid.
All right.
CBS for me, which was Channel 2 in Pennsylvania, had most of the good cartoons. Muppet Babies, which was Arizona. Which, by the way, Muppet Babies! Now you're fucked. It's in your head. It's in your head, bitches. Jake did that to me last week editing the video. I was like, fucking Muppet Babies. God damn it. Garfield and Friends, which fuck the Friends.
I could never get into Garfield and Friends.
I didn't mind
the Friends.
The barnyard antics were somewhat pleasing for me.
I did like the duck with the little inner tube that had the other...
I like the pig guy with the fake Bill Murray voice.
Yeah, it was weird. I don't know. Beakman's World. Y'all remember Beakman's
I fucking love Beakman's World.
Jesus Christ.
That is a weird one. But there is a really cool Captain Disillusion on YouTube. Most people don't know what
Captain
it is.
Disillusion.
But he does a Beakman's World. He does. He actually brings back the character actor.
Yeah, this is recently, isn't it?
Yeah, he did about a year ago or so. But definitely check that out if you like Beakman's World. And that show is fucking weird and it holds up. But that was before Bill Nye.
Bill Nye.
He did that show.
That was the precursor.
Well,
and before that was Mr. Wizard.
They had Alana Ulbach getting her start on Beakman's World.
What other? There was a.
My cousin had several Rainbow Bright dolls and all kinds of shit, and I never even knew whenever it came on. Like it was like Strawberry Shortcake. Also, wasn't that a cartoon?
Yeah, because there was a nice separation of boys and girls.
Right, I know that.
Like, that's a girls' bullshit.
Right,
show.
exactly.
I'm out, motherfucker.
Right, exactly. I didn't know if they had like different programming hours or different channels. I just never saw it. I think I just was like, nah, I'm not watching that.
It existed, like just the same way. But here's the thing, and I will admit to it. When I was a kid, I didn't play with G.I. Joes, Transformers, cars.
Fag!
You're going to say it. I played with My Little Ponies and Care Bears. I really did.
You were a brony.
I guess an early version of it because and the other thing that's weird is why am I not heavily fucking tattooed? Because that's the only reason I like it. It's the same thing over and over again with different tattoos.
Yeah.
So you'd think I'd be fucking sleeved up and shit by now, but I have
a
nothing.
Giant fucking
cloud
on your stomach.
I got the Great Malenko in the middle of my stomach and shit like that. But I mean, what was the?
How about a Care Bear with a Great Malenko on their stomach?
Juggalo Bear. Jiggles Bear. All right, I want you all to pick real quick in your head. Just think of 3 shows right now from your childhood. If I ask you to watch, what you want to watch. And I'll go around. I'll start with Alf. Alf was one of my favorite shows when I was a kid. I loved Gordon Shumway. I loved everything he did. I thought he was hilarious.
Willie, where's your cat?
Yeah, how he was chasing pussy all the time. How he was always causing trouble. How much, if you watch that show now, how much the dad hates Alf is fucking ridiculous. And it's actually
I love
true.
Bob Uecker.
Did you hear what happened to him?
What?
He got caught smoking crack and sucking off homeless guys in the alleyway.
Are you serious?
Shut the fuck up.
Dead fucking serious. That's why he's no longer has a career, dude. A video came out of him fucking smoking crack and sucking off homeless guys.
Oh, that hurts my feelings.
I'm just saying, dude.
Bob Euchre?
Yeah, isn't that nuts? Look how shocked you guys are. I was too.
That's got ago. We have to take it to Snopes. This cannot be real.
No, dude. Dead serious.
Mr. Belvedere's Bob Euchre.
The commentator for Major League, Bob Euchre.
Listen.
Jesus Christ. The actual commentator for the Milwaukee Brewers, Bob Euchre.
Elf, fucking great show. I'm hoping Jake picks The Smallest Wonder.
Oh, yeah. Small Wonder was the fucking shit.
Dude, I'd never heard of this show, and Jake told me about it. And it's so fucked up. If you've never watched Smallest Wonder, it's literally just that 21 minutes of the family possibly fucking this robot child.
They're trying to pass off a robot girl as their daughter.
As her daughter. But it's technically a maid or something like that? Or what is the story?
In the home life, she just fucking services the house. But outside the house...
Comment, dude. Every little comment, it makes you think she's servicing the house.
Yes.
It's always sexual as shit, dude.
So, outside the house, she has to pretend like she's the little sister. I am Vicky.
She has the voice.
I need more of your human water. Like, so the season, the fucking series was doomed as it was. Like 2 seasons, you're done. This chick wasn't even at puberty yet. Like the second season's like the robot grew 7 inches.
And so does the dad.
And then the dad's like, power down, Mickey.
Oh my god. Watch it, and watch it from that slant of knowing that they probably fucked the robot.
You know, but as a kid watching it, I didn't think anything about it. I was just like, oh, okay, yeah,
About
it's got a
2
little
years
robot
ago-
chick.
2
All right.
years ago, me and you and your girlfriend watched an episode of it.
Yes.
We couldn't stop fucking
Oh, it's
laughing.
hilarious.
We were like,
It's
they
so good.
fucked this little robot. Like,
Yeah.
it's insanity.
Yeah, there's no way that dad's not fucking
Oh,
that
dude.
robot.
And
It's the original
we know
sex bot.
Listen, it'd be sick if she wasn't a robot. It's not really a little kid.
It's
a
almost
robot.
kind of acceptable. I mean, it's a robot. She doesn't have any feelings or emotion. Just designed to look a certain way. I don't know.
There's a midgie. It's fine. Javi, pick something. What would be the first of the 3 shows you want to watch right now?
Real Ghostbusters.
Real Ghostbusters.
Whoa, with the fucking gorilla.
That's the Ghostbusters. Oh wait, was that the real?
No, that was Ghostbusters.
That was Ghostbusters.
Oh yeah,
And
they
then
had to
the real
make the
Ghostbusters.
movie. They had to make the movie version the real Ghostbusters because they already own the.
Exactly. So they
Rights
made
to
the real
it.
Ghostbusters, which was the animated Ghostbusters.
Yeah, what was fucked up about that is because Ghostbusters movie had so much success that they released the Ghostbusters animated cartoon after that.
Just to fuck with them.
Yeah,
And
like,
right
oh,
off
well,
the
we can
coast.
capitalize off this. We got the fucking
Right.
name.
Right.
And then they're like, oh no, we're the real Ghostbusters. We
They
got.
really aren't. Though,
You hear that, Bill Murray? Pretty close to Bill Murray, right? Yeah, we're the real Ghostbusters.
What is it about that show that made you,
just
that
as
made you try to...
Just as a kid, that intro, that opening was the greatest thing
Oh,
ever.
yeah.
With
It
the
was
ghost
fucking
walking
solid.
down the street, just shooting double guns at people. Yeah!
And taking the fucking Slimer to the next level, man.
And for some reason, I was like obsessed with the pompadours that they all
Slimer
fucking
was
had.
the snarf of fucking
He
real
was a fucking
Ghostbusters.
snarf.
Wait, did you not drink the high C?
Oh,
Oh,
fuck
fuck
yeah.
yeah.
Ecto coolers? I drink some goddamn Ecto cooler like a motherfucker.
Motherfucker, I get Necto Cooler every other day, goddamn it.
You know I drink that goddamn
Yeah,
Ecto
listen, I
cooler.
need that gin and that Hennessy with some Ecto Cooler.
Give me that Ecto
And it's
cooler
like, I
plasma.
loved everything about the show.
Protoplasm.
I even had like the proton pack with the gun that you should
Oh.
and it was like a foam thing for
it
thing,
was
and
a
you
pool
go like
noodle.
that. It was a pool noodle.
It was a pool noodle.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm catching ghosts. I'm gonna throw my trap.
And the toys were
Yes,
killer.
the fucking, the trap.
The trap was
You
the
find
shit.
out
Have y'all seen the Playmobil Legos? Basically, they released. You can get them at Walmart now.
They got the full Ghostbusters station.
Marco Man and the station and
Yeah.
everything. Every time I pass them, I think I want to buy them, dude.
I love Legos. I put them together as stress relief, man.
I know.
Like, you've seen my...
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I gotta say. Like,
I've
I
got
get the fucking, 1,000-piece ones. You're there for, a good 4 hours
Dude,
doing
I've
that shit.
got-
It's like, I made this with my hands.
In the closet in the bedroom, I don't have the GIMP, which you should have. I've got
Get your
probably-
ass back there.
I've got 25 sets of Legos back. I was just waiting for me.
Jesus.
It's insane. I've got
What?
I've got Rick and Morty Legos. South
Where are you
Park
putting these
Legos,
fuckers
and
together?
Pokemon. I will eventually. I've been doing other things.
Jesus
All
Christ.
right, for my second show, what I want to pick. Let's see. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Fuck.
I was a huge
Yes.
fucking fan of the Power Rangers from episode 1.
Amy Jo Johnson, I
Four.
love you so much. I think you're the hottest Power Ranger of them all.
Yes, I will agree with that.
That's
You're so pink.
but that was the thing. Like, I love the Power Rangers. The biggest thing I love, Godzilla movies. I fucking loved Godzilla when I was a kid.
Yeah.
That was huge. And now all of a sudden you've got Godzilla movies every fucking afternoon.
Right.
It was killer. And I could even see the transition when I was a kid. I could see what part was Japanese.
Yeah.
The Japanese show filmed completely differently, and what was from here.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, this shit doesn't mix up. I don't care. And every time they get hit,
The
they roll down the
footage
fucking hill.
the footage would change.
Oh, 100%.
Like,
Like,
yeah,
it
it's
becomes
like
super grainy. and
yeah,
shit. Like, it's
like-
like crystal clear 4K HD and all
Yeah.
that. Like, super grainy 1970s.
Yeah.
Didn't fucking matter.
No, it was.
And it was so good.
I was a closeted Power Ranger fan.
Oh, you didn't like people now?
From 4th grade till 6th grade.
So what do you mean by closet? You didn't like
He was
people now?
deeply caught.
It was, whenever you came home from school, it was a guilty pleasure of mine to watch it.
So it was
I
jerk
would
off or Power Rangers. You felt more guilty about Power
4th,
Rangers.
6th grade. Yeah, I jerked off to Power Rangers then. No, I'd sit at home and I'd eat a fucking bag of sour cream and onion chips and have a bowl of dill pickle slices and put them on my chips. And I was sitting there and fucking watch Power Rangers like in the dark, like my friends were gonna fucking bust
And then
in.
somebody comes to the room. Hey, Jake, what are you doing?
Oh!
Nothing.
Yeah, I'm just watching men's exercising. Jack
Get
LaMay.
it, Brad. Get it.
They won't think anything of that.
I think for me, when the movie came out, that really kind of ended it because the movie was vastly different. Evidently, it's not canon. It's kind of different than that, but I really did like the movie and the Ivanhoes and all that shit that came with it. And the end scene back in the day with the big battle, even though the CGI is terrible now, I thought it looked like the best shit I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
That's kind of the way the original Spawn movie was for me.
But you thought it looked great.
Yeah.
And even back then, I could tell, like, the weird devil when he came up,
Oh,
looked like
it
a
was
fucking
horrible.
terrible puppet.
Yeah, but I was
I
just
liked
like,
it.
I did too.
And John Leguizamo's fucking clown.
Amazing
Great.
as the Violator.
Bringing it back to the fucking juggalos right there.
Yeah.
What would be the... I kind of stole your first one.
That's
for you, I
fine.
apologize.
Well, we'll go with another chickish one. What about Clarissa Explains It All?
Oh, yeah.
Na, 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 na.
Fucking wanted to fuck her. Didn't even know what that
Yep.
was when I
Yeah,
was a
I
kid.
even that. I was like, why do I like this show so
Realized-
much?
Realized I would be friend zoned as hard as the guy who came through the window and the ladder. Hated her fucking little brother.
Ferguson?
Little head.
Fuck you, Ferg.
The
Fucking
parents,
Ferg.
they were weird as shit too. Everything about that show worked. And the breaking the fourth wall, talking to the camera.
Oh yeah.
Melissa Joan Hart, we were all in love with her. Even we moved over to Sabrina with her for God knows
Well,
what reason.
and you know the thing is, I can't even think of like a single like full episode, but it just stands out to me because it's something that I watch all the time. I didn't even know I was watching it whenever I was watching it. Like,
they didn't work.
Yeah,
They
her
worked.
fucking spell. Oh, look at the chick. She's spelling her name.
Yeah. It was that very much defines the 90s. That show had a very 90s vibe to it.
It
90s.
did.
Though I did like Hey Dude also. Nickelodeon was killing it with their
They
fucking
were,
shit
man.
back then.
Nickelodeon-
Salute Your
Oh,
Shorts.
Salute Your Shorts was
Yeah.
the shit. Oh, God.
Okay, that was right. That was 3 picks of one.
That's
but
fine,
anyway.
dude. I stole your first one,
Yeah.
so you get 3 on that. But
Yeah.
you're right. Hey Dude was great. Salute Your Shorts, I think, is even better.
It's
I
great.
liked Pete and Pete. It had a weird
Pete
feel.
was awesome.
Yeah, it had a very...
I liked. Yeah, it was very
Did you
oddball.
know the movie Snow Day that they released, I think it was the third Nickelodeon
With Chevy
movie.
Chase, right?
Yeah, with Chevy
Yeah.
Chase and the guy with the strong hand from...
Chris
Elliott.
Elliott.
yeah. That movie was actually supposed to be a Pete and Pete movie.
Was it
Really?
really?
Really, yes. That was a Pete and Pete script, and they decided not to do it.
Because the older Pete went on to do the movie Slackers or whatever.
If you look at that movie, it kind of has the same vibe as a Pete
It
and
really
Pete
A
movie.
little
does.
bit.
Not filmed the same.
You know what?
That makes a lot of sense.
Hobbs, pick something.
Hey Arnold. Oh my god. First of all, we all know that Nickelodeon back then was really good, but for some reason Hey Arnold really stood out to me.
And it was a little bit later. I like Hey Arnold. I definitely like the first season. I like the characters. I like the setting. I like a lot of what they do.
You pretty much grew up in that setting.
You
though,
did,
didn't
dude.
you?
You're actually
I
one of
did.
the characters from Hey Arnold. No wonder you like it.
Yeah,
I'm like
that makes
Stoop Kid.
sense.
Yeah, dude.
That
Stoop
makes
Kid's the
sense.
to leave his stoop.
So it does make sense. Is that
It
what
does
was
make
like?
sense. I really did grow up in an
You can
area like
relate.
that. I could relate
Yeah.
to it. I was like, holy
Yeah.
shit. Finally a cartoon that I could relate to.
I want to say 2 things. Did you see that they did the Hey Arnold Jungle movie finally?
Yeah, and I can't wait.
And they did a Rocko's Modern Life movie. That
They're
was
bringing
good.
back Rocco.
Yeah,
I can't
I
wait.
love Rocko.
Oh, yeah,
that
dude.
show
That was
fucked me
fucking
up.
great. Oh, and
I
it
just-
was so beyond parents. Like,
Like,
they
and
didn't
it
even
still holds
realize.
up to this day.
I'll just
Yeah.
pick that as my third pick right there. Rocko's
Rocko.
Modern Life. That show fucked me up in the head so bad.
Why?
And because of that, Steven
He was a
Hillenburg.
fucking sex phone operator.
Rocco was definitely like a very trippy cartoon.
Rocco, Heifer,
Philbert,
Mr. Fathead.
Oh, I love Mr.
Oh, the
Fathead.
Fathead
Big
were
head.
insane.
Big head.
Oh,
Big
dude.
head and fathead.
My favorite
Is it
joke
big
from
head?
that
Mr.
was
Big Head?
is when
That's Big Head.
Rocco gets a job.
And his
And he's on the
beautiful wife, Mrs. Big Head.
And she calls a phone line, and you just see Rocco on the other side of the phone. It goes, "Oh baby, oh baby, oh baby."
Yeah.
Rocco fucking killed me, dude. Even when I was a kid, I was like, "I get it.
Yep.
I get it." And once again, Steven Hillenburg worked on that show, and eventually we get SpongeBob SquarePants. Pick your third.
The Super Mario cartoon.
Oh,
With fucking Captain Lou
Albano.
Albano on there.
fucking
Dude,
great.
Mario.
Let's go do the Mario.
What was it about that show that you liked? Was it the Pee-wee's Playhouse type adventure?
Yeah.
Where they had a host that was Captain Kangaroo style, where they had somebody come in and host,
Right.
and then they did cartoons in between.
Yeah.
And they changed it up too. Like I think the first season they did a lot of stuff based on Mario 2, where they took that.
Yeah, they took whichever Mario was popular at the time also.
And then they also did off of that. They did the Legend of Zelda show too.
Right.
Actually.
Yeah, there's an offshoot.
I mean, and Nintendo ruled our lives. I mean, obviously, if you look around my apartment, which you can't because it's a podcast, you would not be surprised, but there's a lot of Nintendo.
There was a gaming power show.
I mean,
magazine
games.
show.
I mean, Nintendo ruled our life. Sega ruled our life when we were kids. Like it was the big thing.
Yeah.
Like I remember as a kid just loving it because I really liked the aspect of the show where you had a host and he would like talk to you.
And it was
And it
Lou
was, it
Albano.
was fucking great.
He was a wrestler for a long time. I mean,
He was Cindy Lauper's dad.
Exactly.
Right.
He was good enough.
He's
you know?
good enough for you, Javi. Pick a third.
Shining Time Station.
Oh, motherfucker!
Fucking
You gonna
yeah.
pull Shining Time?
Yes.
Thomas the Tank Engine and
Now,
shit?
get this. This was my first introduction to fucking George Carlin was Shining Time Station. That's how I knew it was a little conductor for Shining Time Station. And then I saw one of his specials.
You're getting really excited.
I'm sorry.
Say Shiny Time Station one more time.
You pulled a fire marshal.
It's hard to say Shining Time Station. Shining Time
You know
Station.
what? You know what fucked me up about that show? Fucking Schemer. Fuck that motherfucker.
Who?
Schemer.
What was your problem with Schemer?
He was
The
a
name
scheming
alone.
motherfucker. Like,
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
He was always up to no good.
Why didn't they get that either, though?
They should have known.
Like, his name was a dead giveaway.
No, he's probably gonna fuck up something. Who else? The girl.
Diddy Kong.
I don't remember. I just remember. I didn't even remember her right now, but I remember I would fuck her. Was she hot?
She's Frenchie from Greece.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Okay, all right. And then George Carlin.
That was my first introduction to George Carlin.
Here's the thing: George Carlin didn't originally play the conductor. Who was it?
Wasn't it like somebody from Ringo?
It was Ringo Starr.
Ringo Starr.
That's right. He played the conductor originally, and then it became George Carlin.
And that was my first introduction to George Carlin.
Man, what a fucking jump.
It's weird, isn't it?
Right.
That's bizarre.
But the kid's like, what happened to the conductor?
Well, I mean, I remember George Carlin as the conductor because he wasn't for most of it. And I remember he was cool, calm, collected. That's not George Carlin, but it is George Carlin. You know what I mean? And it worked.
And then I realized that's one of the specials. Like,
piss, cunt, motherfucking cocksucker.
Fucking conductor from Shining Time Station is this guy.
That's nuts.
And it's kind of like if you're a fan
worked.
of Danny Tan, then all of a sudden you see a Bob Saget special. Like,
yeah.
this guy makes you want to do a double take.
Yeah, like you talk about Bob Saget stand-up compared to Full House.
Oh, yeah.
And the funniest thing is, you think about it, the reason Bob Saget on America's Funniest Home Videos is laughing so hard because he's doing the lamest dad jokes ever. And this motherfucker is the guy, when his daughter was born, his daughter went through a bunch of problems. She had a disease of some sort. They went through a bunch of different treatments. And she was laying in the bed, and he had one of his comedian buddies, and they were kind of looking over. And like the comedian goes, the light was shining through the room, and it came to the daughter, and we're having this moment. And he goes, she really is beautiful, Bob. And he goes, I know. I'll let you finger her for $1. Like, that's who he is.
That's
as a
hilarious.
comedian, dude. It's so fucked up. The last one I want to talk about, I'm going to pick one more. Pee-wee's Playhouse. I was not allowed to watch that as a kid. Did you guys watch that?
Pee-wee's Playhouse. Yeah, dude, my parents fucking encouraged me watching Pee-wee. My dad and I loved Big Adventure whenever it came out. Like, that was like one of my growing up movies.
So fucking creepy to me as a kid. That blue chair,
dude,
just like took me back to Look Who's Talking To with the people in the potty.
I'm sitting on it.
Dude,
Make a like a high, make a like a honey
Oh,
hole.
dude, I love it. And if you can watch the HBO special,
Larry the Cowboy.
Oh my god, dude. Everything about Pee-wee's is fun. He is weird. He's bizarre, but like it's just fun. It's a good fucking time.
But the Broadway version of Pee-wee, it was a little more adult. Like they put mirrors on their shoes and look up girls' dresses and shit.
Oh yeah,
like
he
that.
would always do little fucked up stuff. That's what's great about that character. He can work as that, and he can also work
slip things in. You know what I'm saying?
Dude,
they don't know what you're saying.
Good. It's so funny. And along with that too, Ernest. Did you guys watch a lot of
Hell
Ernest?
to the fucking yes.
Kind of the same thing. He had a TV show for a while, and then the movies though, especially Ernest Goes to Camp.
Ernest
Goes to
the
Jail,
original Ernest
Ernest
Goes to Camp was the shit.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us for our fall special. What was it called?
The Free for All.
Free for Fall.
Free for Fall.
Ladies and
Damn
gentlemen,
it, I
if you
even
want
said
to
it wrong.
check out some more of our stuff, please go to our YouTube channel, Quack Attack 5000 on YouTube. Check out our other podcasts. I got Meep. I've got Movie Amnesia, and of course, always please share with your friends. Send us suggestions. Send it to our email, quackattack5000@gmail.com. We want to hear from you. Join our Facebook group, same thing, Quack Attack 5000. Talk to us on there. Share with your friends. Tell us what you're thinking, what you want to see us do. We will see you next time. Thank you so much for listening. Y'all have a good one.
Send us nudes.
Yeah, true.
No, seriously, do.
Yeah.
Duck's lonely.
Oh.
Here comes an inbox full of dicks.
And there it is. Thank you so much for checking out the podcast today. If you have enjoyed it, please do not forget, share with your friends. That is how we grow the network. And if this is your first time listening, head over to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, iTunes, and give We Are Podcast a like. And if you've enjoyed this podcast, you're going to love the other podcast here on the We Are Podcast Network. We have We Are Bagu, a video game podcast featuring me and Dr. Ethan Eastwood. That's where we talk Atari to Steam and everything in between. Don't forget, Heroes Gyros, a Dungeons and Distraction side quest. Me and the boys were sitting down, we're playing some D&D, we're having so much fun. You can go and start that from the beginning of the journey, Season 1, Episode 1. You're going to love it all the way through. And finally, I hate being sober. Personal stories from epic people. I'm going to sit down with some of the most epic people I've ever met in this world, and we're going to talk about their life, we're going to talk about their trials and tribulations, and we're just going to talk about their journey this far. Head on over to our social media. All links can be found in the description. You can find us at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at /WeArePodcast. Also, head over to the Facebook group, We Are Era. We would love to see you in that group. And don't forget, if you've enjoyed the podcast today, share it with your friends. That's the only way we can grow this network. With that said, do not forget, support local comedy in any way that you can. We really do appreciate it. We'll see you next time.